Hello everyone, and welcome to the second Heroes of Destiny vlog. I have a very special video prepared for you today, and it'll be recounting the settings and themes of Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and Epsilon World. I very much hope you enjoy, and stay tuned at the end for something a little special, a little different. So Alpha World is the first and original Heroes of Destiny world. It's got pretty much everything in it, and it takes place a long time after the Great Shield was raised around Concordia that blocked it off from the rest of the world. It's a time still where science and alchemy and things are growing very, very rapidly under the East and the West technological eye. But magic is still very, very apparent, and this world is more fantastical than others. It has really crazy and some whacked out things like end proxies, end agents, all sorts of gods, vampires, werewolves, immortals, and things. You know, the Black Hunters and the Ulmer family. It's got pretty much everything, but that all ties back to its theme. It's very, very difficult to understand, and the plot really doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's because there are a lot of parts to it, and it's a very sort of difficult reality to live in, because there's so much to do, and there's so much to see, and there's so little time, and everything's always happening all the time, and it's hard to stay on track. And that's part of the theme. The theme is really to test yourself. It's to look between light and darkness and choose your own path amongst chaos. There's so much going on, and even when things are nice, there's tons of things still to choose from. You never really catch a break. That's more true now in the current Alpha world, but back in the day it was pretty calm. It was really very nice. And only recently, because of player actions and different things that happened, it really all went downhill. But it's still about testing yourself. It's about encountering a difficult situation and really deciding whether you want to fight back and you really want to push, or are you going to give up and join them or just lay down and die. That's pretty much it. And that's where the main conflict in the world comes from. The whole setting is the four empires, north, south, east, west, and then there's little Nahir right there at the center, and there's all sorts of things going on. And that was the main conflict, the empires against each other, but there are different levels to it. And then it's not just the empires against each other, but then there are the smaller forces, like the Black Hunters wanting their own place, their own vampire land where they can live in peace without having to work for people and kill each other, basically. Then there's the Ulmer family trying to bring back all of their dead kin, basically. And then there are the gods, and then there are the proxies, and then there's even more. And that's just really thing on thing on thing. It's a big pile of stuff. And again, that's where you have to choose, Are you going to lie down and just take it, or are you going to stand up, choose a side, and do something? There's no right or wrong, because everybody believes they're right. So you have to believe in yourself and do what you can. That's pretty much it. Now on to Beta World. In Beta World, aka Heroes of Destiny Killers and Kings, the empires are extremely corrupt, and they've begun to use mercenary bands, different guilds, as well as private military companies to fight their own battles instead of using their own armies. Now this has changed the landscape of things very drastically, and the theme here is survival and really making a name for yourself. A lot of the mercenary guilds are small, and they're sort of just bumbling along trying to make their way and make a big name so they can get a good contract and get money to help their families or indulge in their own goals and pleasures and desires. So when you're dropped into Beta World, things are already pretty hectic. Of course, there's a lot more fighting and warring and assassination going on. But it's all superficial. It's really all the empires just toying around with the mercenary bands and the guilds and trying to get them to kill each other or kill one of the other empires. Nobody's really making any headway, but of course, with the addition of players and different heroes, that may all change. So the big conflict here is basically between all the guilds and the different bands and things. And it's all up to the player as to what to do, where to go, who to join, what choices to make. You don't have to join a mercenary guild. You can, of course, go along and explore the world like in any other world. But here it's a lot more difficult too, because there are mercenary bands everywhere, and they will make you pay a toll, or they'll even just try and kill you just to get any sort of acclaim from the empires. And that makes it a little bit more challenging, and it makes combat a very, very active and realistic thing in Beta World that you really have to deal with. You can't really just sidestep it. Of course, honestly, you can, but it would be extremely difficult. That makes Beta World difficult straight off the bat, but pretty much straightforward all the way through. Okay, so Heroes of Destiny Under Starry Skies, aka Gamma World, is nearly identical to Epsilon World. The main differences are that Esthanel and Unica are just really calm in this one. They're really just chill. I mean, they don't really have a problem that's that anybody knows about. It's still the North, South, East, and West Empires. Esthanel, Step 1. Created slash found Esthanite, Step 2. Created an army, Step 3. Took over into here and created Unica. Step 4, threatened all of the empires. Step 5, defeated all the empires. Step 6, rewrote history so the war never happened so that nobody's ashamed of the empires. Step 7, everybody was at peace. And it takes place a few years after this whole rewrite, so nobody really knows about the war. Everybody just knows about the peace. Nobody really cares about the war or any sort of fighting because nobody has any problems. If anybody tries to attack one another, Unica and SNL are right there to beat them right back. So there's no invasion, there's no big military parties that can do anything. There's really no use for any of that. It's a lot of internal strife and struggle within each empire, but otherwise things are just really, really calm. The reason that this world is called Under Starry Skies is that the heroes there are being watched. They're the only ones. They're the only ones beneath these starry skies that can change the world in any way, shape, or form. And it's really up to them and their personalities and their life choices. And finally, we reach Epsilon World, aka Heroes of Destiny Unica. This time, the setting is quite similar to Gamma, except that it's futuristic. With Esthanel and her science and the power of Esthanite, she's transformed Concordia into a super-connected, hyper-advanced society. Well, save for the low-tech areas, that is, which are still apparent. In here, it's no longer quite a class struggle or anything, it's more a power struggle. Now, with Esthanel in power over all of Concordia, basically, through the power of Unica, all the empires are quite stingy about their power and their money, and they hate that Esthanel has taken almost everything from them. While she's made a safe haven for pretty much every single race, and everybody's really okay and free to live a life how they want to, save that it's rid of genocide and or psychotic tendencies, and of course the usual stuff. Um, the empires, they really don't like that she's seen as the figurehead pretty much for all of Concordia. It's no longer the four infinite empires. It's Unica, and then these other shoddy places, I guess you can kind of go if you want to get restricted by a lot of laws and stuff. I mean, Unica is really nice. It's super advanced. No other place really has stuff like Unica does, but then again, if you really want to get really religious and magical, you go to the west. If you want some I don't know. I guess if you want to chill or something, you go to the north. If you want to, you don't go to the south, but the east is really cool. There's a lot of technology and awesome stuff there, and that's where you can practice martial arts and really get the best equipment and items in anything. But Unica is really the central hub of Concordia now, and nobody really likes that except for the people. So it's the old elite, that old rich money that are fighting against her in a sort of a proxy way, and sometimes a really direct way. But that's something for the players to deal with. The main theme of this world is evolution and determining one's future. While we started with Alpha World, which is the start of everything, where you basically have to determine your past, determine, what the world was like and what you're going to do now from that. Beta World was more focusing on present struggles, focusing on your present self and your situation and making a name for yourself, getting ahead in the world and becoming something. Gamma World was focusing now on yourself rather than the situation, the past, or the present. You focus now on yourself before moving forward, and it's a sort of a self-reflection world on what you're doing when nobody else is doing anything and you're the only one watching yourself. And Epsilon World is really all about the future. It's all about moving forward and seeing, how do the people of Concordia want to progress? How do they want to move ahead in life? And a lot of people want to move forward, but then again, there's also about 50% of the population that were really comfortable with the way things were done in the past. And that's sort of the conflict, and players really have to either choose a side or figure out a different way for Concordia to change or for people to live in harmony. All SNL really wants is for everybody to be living in peace, and the only way she knows she can do that is through the threat of incredibly dangerous and overwhelming war. And when she has such an upper hand against all the other empires, that is pretty much assured at the cost of being hated and the target of, nearly every assassin group in all of Concordia. But she can deal with that very easily. She's got a dragon, and she's got extremely powerful allies, and remember, she's got S the Knight. And that stuff is wicked and wild, and people really don't know its full power, but that's the secret to SNL. People just don't really know what she is, and it's crazy. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. As a reward, I will be giving each and every world a few hints. I guess if you made it this far, use them to the best of your advantage. Here they are. Alpha World, for all the end agents, remember, 3 strikes and you're out. For all you heroes, don't worry about it. Alright, Beta World, let's see, let's think. There's only one player in Beta World. Alright, you don't matter. Gamma World, you don't get hints. Epsilon, don't touch that dial now. Also, if you're in a forest, you better run. What else? Alright, I guess, that's good for hints. I mean, I'll just throw out some random ones now. Shoot, I guess. Charge the tree. What else? Go to the shrine. What else? Trust this thing. Oh, and if about 30 of these guys are coming after you, I would suggest running as quickly as you can. You will not be able to stop that. And if you see black sand, you're done. Don't even worry about it. You can't even get away. Alright, so I think that's good. I've been up all night recording this, and I apologize for not uploading it on Monday morning like I said that I would. But here it is. If you have any questions, any sort of feedback, anything you want, of course, go ahead and leave a comment or contact Adam or myself. Feel free to like and subscribe so that you know when I come out with these videos and things. I probably won't post something until later so that you subscribers, I guess, have an early head start. I think there's only one, but whatever. And thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this video helpful. And of course, if you don't know what Heroes of Destiny is and you're watching this video, go ahead and check it out on Facebook. So that'll be squiggly Heroes of Destiny and 3 asterisks. Go ahead and check it out. Contact me. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Oh, is this recording? Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. As a reward, I will be giving some secret hints to each and every world. First and foremost, starting with Alpha. For all the heroes, remember, 3 strikes. Oh, wait a second. That's not true.